And welcome back to another episode of Talking Sports. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew Volkman, and this is my co-host.
Miles Shield, virtual. How you guys doing?
We're all doing great over here. Miles, sounds like you're doing pretty good. It's been a while, buddy. Been
Yeah,
it's been a little over maybe a month or two at this point, because I think we last recorded in like March. I think.
yeah, and I'm sorry, guys. It's mostly been my fault. Just really busy. Hopefully over summer here we can get a lot more up for you guys. Be more consistent.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Also, maybe potentially another Hunter Wooler interview maybe could be coming in the not too distant future. Miles, we think that's a
Yeah,
possibility.
yeah. I definitely think we can set it up there.
Yeah. All right. So I'm excited for that. But anyways, we got a bit of a packed show for you guys going on here. We have a now segment, news of the week. We have to talk about the
Nom. It's a nom nom nom.
news of the month. Oh, we're doing that. We're doing the nom nom nom. All right.
We've been gone for a while. We got to give the people what they want.
All right. So nom segment. Miles, thank you for that. We have to talk
Of
about the
course.
MLB season. Of course, we are 2 months into the season over there. The NBA playoffs are well underway. We're into round two. We have the NBA draft lottery that we have to talk about here today. That just got decided today, and some very interesting picks unfolded that we have to discuss. And then we'll wrap up with a little bit of a discussion about the NFL draft that happened a couple weeks ago. So we're gonna go ahead and start out though with the nom 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 segment, as Miles so courageously pointed out to me here. So we gotta start by talking about the WNBA. Their season just got underway, I believe, on Friday night. So the WNBA is well underway. Caitlin Clark and company leading the Indiana Fever, one of the biggest names in the WNBA right now. So a lot of exciting things over in the WNBA. I was actually just down in Indianapolis, and I may have had the opportunity to go watch a Indiana Fever preseason game, but I couldn't make it in time for that one. I heard Caitlin Clark actually got hurt in that game, so very exciting stuff over there in the WNBA moving forward. So moving on though, in the next segment, part of the nom 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 segment, the Stanley Cup playoffs are underway. We're into round two of the NHL. It will be in round two the Avalanche taking on the Minnesota Wild, the Golden Knights taking on the Ducks, the Sabres taking on the Canadians, and then the Hurricanes took on the Flyers, and that series has already concluded. The Hurricanes actually are moving on now to the conference finals to take on the winner of the Sabres or the Canadiens. So some interesting stuff going down in the NHL. We'll keep you posted on that on the road to the Stanley Cup final round. And then finally, Miles, do you have anything else to add in the nom 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 segment?
Uh, sure. I watched the Paige Buchers Caitlin Clark matchup, which was the first Indiana Fever game of the season. It was so fun. The Fever ended up losing by three. Caitlin Clark had a deep three that would have tied the game. Couldn't hit it, but all around it was very fun to watch. Aziz Fudd, the number one overall pick, didn't play great, but it was definitely exciting to see the WNBA season underway. I got to see the Las Vegas Aces ring ceremony. It's awesome ring. The ring is so cool, and that dynasty down in Las Vegas. Really awesome to see where the WNBA has been going so far, and NHL is just so exciting. I'm very excited to see who takes home the Stanley Cup.
Absolutely. So now we got to move on though away from the nom segment over to an MLB recap. So we're about I would almost say halfway through May, a little bit under halfway through May. So almost 2 months have passed in the MLB season, and let me just put it this way: as the MLB expert of the two of us, between me and Miles, this MLB season has been pretty weird for the most part. Just looking at the standings in the AL, the two best teams in the American League are both in the AL East, and it's the Tampa Bay Rays, who nobody expected to be like this good, to be 13 games over 500, and then the New York Yankees, who Miles will have a little bit of a word about the Yankees in just a moment, who are 11 games over 500. But besides that, the other division leaders in the American League in the Central, the Cleveland Guardians, are 21 and 21, right at 500. The Detroit Tigers, who have one of the best pitchers in baseball with Tarek Skubal, who right now is down with an elbow injury, should be returning in a month or so, a couple weeks from now. But they're in fourth place right now. And then in the AL West, right now the Athletics are leading the division at 21-19, but they have a negative run differential at -6. Meanwhile, the Mariners and the Astros are both under 500, and the Astros have looked very disappointing to start off this year. And in the National League, excuse me, the Braves are running away with it in the NL East. 14 games over 500, have one of the best run differentials in baseball right now. Chicago Cubs are leading the way in the NL Central, but the NL Central has been very competitive. All of the teams, all five of them, are over 500. The Cubs in second, or first, excuse me. The Cardinals in second place, despite being probably one of the worst teams on paper heading into this year. The Milwaukee Brewers, who have had a ton of injuries, are in third place, but have the I believe fourth best run differential, or excuse me, fifth best run differential in all of baseball right now. They are 6 games over 500. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, led by Paul Skeens, are 4 games over 500 and fourth. And then the Cincinnati Reds are 3 games over 500 in fifth place in the NL Central. So the NL Central very competitive right now. And then, of course, the NL West, of course, being dominated by the defending World Series champions, Los Angeles Dodgers. Only 9 games over 500, though. And then the San Diego Padres, only 7 games above 500. So a very interesting MLB season, to say the least, in terms of who the good teams are. Now, for the bad teams, the Toronto Blue Jays, a team that just went to the World Series, they're in third place right now, below 500. The Boston Red Sox are probably in a worse position. They fired their manager, Alex Cora, fired almost all of their staff on the major league roster, and so they are 6 games below 500. They've been playing better as of late, but they're in a rough position right now. Houston Astros, I already mentioned them. The Philadelphia Phillies are 3 games under 500. They fired their manager, Rob Thompson, as well. The New York Mets are in fifth place in the American League East. They are 9 games below 500. Have one of the worst run differentials in baseball right now. Still, they have their manager, Carlos Mendoza. And besides that, the San Francisco Giants have been pretty bad as well. Rafael Devers is having a terrible season for the Giants. So a lot of the teams that we expected to be good are not doing so great right now. And then you have some good teams that we really didn't expect to be at the top. So I will repeat once again, this MLB season has been very, very weird, to say the least. But Miles, what do you have to add?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say right now, the Tampa Bay Rays are what the Detroit Tigers were last year. They are just a shocking team, and they're dominating right now. I'm a big fan of that. I like the good underdog. Let's talk about the Yankees for a little bit, all right? First of all, I would just like to say go Brewers, because they just swept the Yankees. After a few hours ago, Bryce Terang hit a walk-off home run, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Bryce Terang gets it up. He's been amazing. I absolutely love him. Let's get him locked up on a contract. Absolutely love the Milwaukee Brewers. But Yankees, let's talk about them. Obviously, Aaron Judge leading the league with, I believe, 16 home runs, 16 or 17 home runs right now this season. He's playing great baseball, as always. Jazz Chisholm Jr. just can't even get to 200. He's barely above 200. He's not looking great. He definitely is not the same player he was in Miami. He's not that prospect anymore. He just hasn't panned out well for that Yankees team. Obviously, I believe it was Jason Dominguez who, when it crashed into the wall, got hurt, got carted off. Also, Brandon Lockridge on the Brewers got carted off. So hopefully they're okay. Doesn't look great for Brandon Lockridge right now. But yeah, the Brewers they've been pitching great. Jacob Mizorowski for the Brewers is leading the league in strikeouts with 70 right now, and on pace
Wow.
To break the Brewers' single-season strikeout record.
Wow.
So he's been absolutely phenomenal. He's flamethrower. Absolutely love him. He's our skinny, tall Paul Skeens. So absolutely love him here in Milwaukee. They just got Cheerio back. He's been on an absolute tear. He was batting like 400. Yelich will be back in a couple weeks, and Vaughn just got back. So we're getting the Brew Crew back together, and hopefully let's go on a win streak here.
Absolutely. Some other names that have been shining in the MLB. First, just mentioned the Yankees. Cam Schlittler, came on strong last year in the postseason. He's posting Cy Young numbers right now. I mean, if on this current pace, he is going to be a Cy Young winner. That's why the Yankees have won so many games without guys like Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon, many of their aces. They have Cam Schlittler absolutely tearing it up in the Bronx right now, which is absolutely incredible. And then Munetaka Murakami, the Japanese phenom who came over from Japan this past offseason, didn't get the contract he wanted, signed with the White Sox on a very, very good deal for the White Sox. And right now he's right at the top of the home run leaderboard with Aaron Judge in the American League and all of baseball right now. So it's been very cool to see what Munetaka Murakami has done. Me and Miles both saw him on opening day, saw being the operative term. We watched Munetaka Murakami on TV hit a lot of home runs in Milwaukee on opening day in that opening series. So that was really fun to watch. And then Mike Trout for the Los Angeles Angels, even though the Angels aren't necessarily having the best season, Mike Trout is looking like an MVP again, which makes me very, very happy to see. He's hitting home runs, he's lifting the ball, he's hitting for power, he's fielding good, he's staying healthy. Knock on wood with that. Please, Mike Trout, stay healthy because the game is only better without him. It's worse when he's not playing in that regard. So a lot of cool things going on in the MLB, but then some underperformers like Cal Raleigh for the Mariners is hitting below 200, not hitting for much power right now. Very concerning to see from Cal Raleigh. Meanwhile, Shea Langeliers on the Athletics is looking like Cal Raleigh from last year, showing immense power, showing a great bat. He's looked amazing so far this year. And then Adley Rutschman as well. After a couple years of mediocrity for the former number one overall draft pick for the Orioles, this year for the Orioles, he's hitting very, very well. He's leading the offense when guys like Gunnar Henderson are underperforming. Even though the Orioles are 9 games back of the division and 5 games under 500, Adley Rutschman has been one of the lone bright spots on that Orioles team. So a lot of really cool stories to hear of some guys bouncing back like Trout, like Adley Rutschman, but then also some really big disappointments like Rafael Devers and Cal Raleigh so far this year. So, but I think that will do it for our little MLB recap. We got to move on now to the the NBA playoffs, who are right now in the conference semifinals. And earlier today, the New York Knicks just wrapped up a series sweep of the Philadelphia 76ers. So the Knicks, the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, will be either taking on the Detroit Pistons or the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then in the Western Conference, the Oklahoma City Thunder are beating the Lakers 3-0 in the series. I believe they have a game tomorrow night at 9:30 on Prime Video. And then the Timberwolves are taking on the Spurs after the Timberwolves upset the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. And the Spurs and Timberwolves have a game later tonight in a little bit less than an hour on NBC. So I haven't watched very much of the playoffs, but I've seen enough to know that this has been a very interesting one. I look back at round one, Miles, and I see, a very bland, I would say, Western Conference with the Thunder sweeping the Suns, the Lakers beating the Rockets, and then the Spurs beating the Trailblazers, but then the Timberwolves beating the Nuggets, which, isn't terribly surprising, I guess. I thought the Timberwolves were very good. But then in the Eastern Conference, 3 out of the 4 series went to 7 games, with the Pistons almost getting upset by the Magic, the Cavaliers almost getting upset by the Raptors, and the 76ers upsetting the number 2 Celtics, and then the Knicks beating the Hawks by over 50 points in Game 6. So, I mean, this postseason's been a little bit wacky as well, especially when it comes to the Eastern Conference. So, I don't know about you, Miles, but the NBA playoffs, though, they've been very entertaining, at least in my opinion. They've shown a little bit of surprise and intrigue so far this year.
Yeah, they've been amazing to watch. I have been so satisfied with what I'm seeing from the NBA. Really, really enjoyed it. Let's talk about what we're seeing so far. We're seeing the Knicks dominate right now. I mean, the 76ers looked awful against this Knicks team. And I'm pretty sure the Knicks broke the record for most threes in a single NBA playoff game. They looked amazing. I was very impressed with the Knicks. Jalen Brunson obviously is Mr. Playoff because he is always turned it on for this. Let's talk about the Raptors, shall we? Pushing the game. James Harden. They made him look like an amateur. He was awful in this series. He was averaging what, 7 turnovers a game?
Yeah.
It was pathetic to see. It looked like James Harden at the end of his tenure with the Nets. That's what we were seeing from James Harden in this playoff run, and you just can't have it. You can't trade Darius Garland, who's going to give you your all, and then get a fat bearded man. I mean, honestly, they could have traded for Santa Claus and got the equivalents to what James Harden put on that court. It was disgusting to see as a NBA fan. I will say on the bright side, watching the Spurs has been so much fun. The fact that they have so much young depth is insane to me. Like literally, I bet the next 3 guys on their bench, they're 6, 7, and 8 on their bench could be starters on any other team. That's how good and that's how deep their roster is. Wemby is an absolute unicorn. He cannot be stopped. He's so much fun to watch. And honestly, I'm rooting for the Spurs. And even if they don't win, that's okay because they have a dynasty down there. And I'm declaring it right now. The San Antonio Spurs are heading into a dynasty over the next 10 years with Victor Wembanyama as the face of their franchise.
Absolutely. I would almost go on to say that, the Spurs are kind of having like a rise, kind of like the Thunder did last year, where, I mean, the Thunder were good. I mean, they were led by some young guys like SGA, Jalen Williams, J Dub, and also Chet Holmgren. So, I mean, I think we're kind of seeing that rise from the Spurs right now, who, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, they don't look too different from the Oklahoma City Thunder. They got a big, tall, lanky center with Wemby. They got a good point guard leading the way with Stephon Castle and Devin Vassell as a 1-2. And then they got some good veterans in the mix like over there as well. I mean, we saw Caruso have a great series with the Thunder last year in the playoffs. So, and we're seeing with the Spurs this year as well with like guys like Harrison Barnes and Luke Cornett as well. So that Spurs team is also it's very fun to watch. You put it very, very well. I'm also watching the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, it's 2-1 in the series right now with the Spurs and Timberwolves. I mean, Ant-Man really has emerged over the last couple years as a superstar, and we're still seeing it right now. And he's leading a 6-seed Timberwolves, who I thought underperformed this year, to potentially more postseason success than we give them credit. So I'm very much watching that series. I think that's going to be a very fun series to watch. It's 2-1. It's anything can happen still. They got a game later on tonight. I might be tuning into that one if I'm, not doing my homework and, not doing what I'm supposed to be doing at this point. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And then Pistons and Cavaliers should be another very fun series as well. So NBA playoffs, some of the best basketball we've seen all year, which, I mean, you would think is, should be happening. But it's very fun to watch right now. So we're going to move on, though, to the NBA draft lottery that just got revealed today, which, very interesting. Very interesting time of year. May get a little overshadowed in the mix of that as well. So the NBA draft lottery, the Washington Wizards once again have the number 1 overall pick. Miles, what else do you have on the NBA draft lottery as I pull it up right now?
Wizards get 1, Jazz get 2, and Bulls get 3. The Pacers, yikes, looks bad for them. What the Ivica Zubac trade ended up, they ended up giving up the 5th overall pick for Zubac, a 29-year-old center. That's just pathetic to me. That's rough. I mean, they were the 2nd worst team in the league. They couldn't get the lucky odds here. And I got a little bit of a controversial thing to say here, but I think that there's a chance that this draft lottery could be a little bit rigged. I think the draft lottery is rigged. I mean, I don't see the science behind the draft lottery. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Last year, right, Mavericks defy the odds and get number 1. All right, they get Flag. Is that the league rewarding them for making a big trade, making the headliner in trading Luka Doncic? All right, one thing. Wizards, yes, they were the worst record. So, yeah, you could argue. But we've seen teams who don't have the worst records get number 1. So, is this the NBA rewarding the Wizards for making trades that were headliners for Trae Young, for Anthony Davis? I don't know. It's controversial. I had to throw it out there. So we'll see. We'll see what they do at number 1. There's no unanimous number 1. We have no idea who's going to be number one. This isn't Wemby. This isn't Flag. This is a big question mark of who the Wizards are going to go with at one. My personal opinion, I think they do take DeBansta or Darren Peterson here. I'm hoping it's not DeBansta. I'm hoping it's Peterson. Because if the Bucks do trade up, actually I should say when the Bucks do trade up, I do not want to see Darren Peterson in a Bucks uniform. I would way rather see DeBansta. So I'm hoping the Wizards go one here. Jazz could get somebody big for Ace Bailey and Lowry marketed. They could also make a trade for Giannis, which I would like. Possibly giving us the second and possibly Ace Bailey in return. I wouldn't mind that. That's probably not going to happen. And then the Bulls have a young team, and they have a team that can be very exciting. And I think we just got to wait to see. I think the Bulls are another kind of question mark. They kind of need a lot. So we could see these are three teams in the top three that really need everything. So we'll see what goes on, and I'm hoping there's a lot of big trades. Bucks get the 10th overall. In between, doesn't really matter. Something I'd also like to mention, the Thunder got the 12th, which was from the Paul George trade all those years ago. So they are still cashing in on picks. And I just saw ESPN's mock draft, and it had them getting Axel Lindenberg, the absolute face, the Walter Clayton of this year. And I mean, somehow the Thunder, there's a good chance they win the championship and have a top 15 first-round pick right now. So, I mean, props to that GM because he is absolutely incredible what he's done over the last 5 years.
Thunder also have the 17th overall pick from the 76ers, and they don't have one later. The Dallas Mavericks have the Thunder's original pick from this year. So, the Thunder, instead of having probably a pick in the mid-20s, have two picks inside the top 20 at 17 and 12, which is, kind of insane to think about here. So, and then you also have the Memphis Grizzlies at number 3. Bulls are at number 4, just to clarify. Bulls and, Grizzlies, they have a little bit of an interesting roster as well. They're kind of in a similar situation as the Bulls. They trade away Jaren Jackson Jr., and they still have Ja Morant, but what else do they really have? They need a lot to really retool around Ja right now. So very interesting to see what the NBA draft might look like.
Hey, can I contradict you there?
Yeah, you can.
I don't think the Grizzlies are looking to build around Ja. I think they're looking to build around Cedric Howard and the rest of that kind of young core they got there. I think Ja Morant very well, if he does not get traded now, gets traded during draft night, I don't see him sticking around with the Grizzlies. They already are actively shopping him. I don't see Ja Morant making it through this draft.
Interesting. I mean, I think it's definitely in the realm of possibility, so definitely could happen. But, Miles, I am hearing, though, that you may have a little bit of a Shield spicy situation going on with a potential trade for the Milwaukee Bucks this upcoming draft. So, you want to go over here?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's a very spicy thing because anything with Giannis is very spicy. So we have an insider here. We have a man. His name is Ryan, also nicknamed Red Slide. He found something when he was deep diving the Milwaukee Bucks, and it was a post that Giannis had in a little. I don't know if it was social media or whatever. It's something Giannis said. All right, I want to let you know. Obviously, the Bucks hired their new head coach, Coach Jenkins, I believe. He was an assistant with us and head coach for the Grizzlies, I believe. It's a whole thing. But when he was hired, Giannis said, I'm happy for Milwaukee. He's going to be great for them. He's going to be all of that, which is interesting because he never said we. He never said me. He never included himself with the team, which kind of makes everyone here think it's done. It's official. He's not coming back. They can't even. I don't think he'll even sit down and sign a contract again. I see him out the door. I don't think he makes it. And I think it's best for both Milwaukee and the Bucks to move on. All right, but enough about the rambling. Let's talk about Shield's spicy situation here.
Now it's time for Shield spicy situation.
All right, let's talk about it. All right. So here's what I did. I got my little trade calculator here, and I usually just throw a couple things in, but it usually never works. Andrew, you can agree.
Yep.
It's so hard to get a trade to work in this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as I'm talking to Red Slide here, who's our secret analyst, we were talking. I was like spitballing ideas. I'm like, listen, Paul George is on a big contract. That's the only way we'd be able to make a move with the 76ers because they're not going up Embiid. I don't want Embiid. It's not happening. All right? 76ers just got embarrassed by the Knicks. They got absolutely humiliated. And they haven't been in the finals since Kawhi Leonard made that one of the most insane shots in NBA history. All right? So I'm thinking, okay, 76ers are desperate, right? They're losing Embiid. He's just getting hurt and hurt and hurt, all right? They got Tyrese Maxey. They want to capitalize with those two together. So here's what I got. Bucks call them up. They say, here's what we'll give you. We'll give you Giannis, straight up Giannis. But here's what you're going to give us. Paul George. You want to know why? Because Paul George and Giannis have almost the exact same kind of contract. They have a very similar salary, and it really balances out well. Then, obviously, they need to get a young player. So, VJ Edgecombe, come over here, right? The 76ers don't want to wait to develop him. They need someone who's going to help win now, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right. And then the 76ers send over a 2027 first round pick, a 2030 first round pick, and a 2032 first round pick. And here's where I'm going to kind of say what Red Slide, our secret analyst, said back. Why the heck are we getting all these late 2030, 2032? I don't want to wait. I want the Bucks to rebuild as quickly as possible, like the Thunder, like the Spurs, and let's move on. Well, here's what I got to say about that. It doesn't matter what year these first-round picks are. We need first-round picks. That's it. That's period. We need first-round picks because guess what? You know what we could do? If we have first-round picks, we have trade capital. So we can use those first-round picks to get another young player, to move up in the draft. Do what we need to do. So we get this young player in this Giannis. Oh, now we get whoever we get at 10. I'm seeing Nate Ahmed, the forward from Tennessee, is who the Bucks really like at number 10. Take him. Now you got a forward. Now you got VJ Edgecombe. You already got Jang, who could be very good. You got Kevin Porter Jr., you got Ryan Rollins. All right? I'm seeing a team that's going to suck next year. But I think that we could be in a great spot in our rebuild if this trade goes through. I think there's other trades that could happen, possibly trading to Portland. I think maybe we could get a few more first-round picks in this trade just because they're going to want to get rid of Paul George so badly. I think that Giannis and the 76ers makes a ton of sense. I did it in my 2K in my 2K franchise. Played with the 76ers for a few years, did fine. I really think this is the best move for the Milwaukee Bucks at this time.
Yeah, I mean, that's one I haven't heard. I haven't really heard that one. That's a very interesting one. I don't have much more to say than that. So I'm gonna let that just sit and not really say much more about that. So let us know down in the comments though, guys, if you like this trade for the Bucks that Miles just concocted. Because I mean, Miles, if you're saying that you got this to go through like with your trade sim, like, I mean, maybe. That's what I'm going to say about that. But now let's go ahead and move on, though. That was Shield Spicy situation. Let's go ahead and move on, though, to the 2026 NFL Draft. All right, so the NFL Draft, it's kind of come and gone once again this year. It happened very, very fast, in my opinion. Miles might be able to agree with me there. So a lot of picks happened, a lot of interesting surprises, a lot of good picks, a lot of bad picks, at least in our opinion. So what I have going on over here at my little setup and what I have some of my best picks. I have some of my worst picks, in my opinion, at least. And then I have some of my picks that kind of left me scratching my head, like I had dandruff again. And then Miles over there has got some of his winners from the draft. I don't know if he's exactly got teams that were the winners, like they had the best draft class, or losers like with teams, or if he had players that won and lost the draft. So let's go ahead though and start by I'm going to talk about some of my best picks, and then Miles will talk about his best winners and whatever he's got over there. I really don't know. Miles told me what he's going to do, and I'm going in blind, I guess. So he didn't even tell me about the Bucks trade, so that's why I was kind of surprised. Anyways, my best picks here. Spoiler alert: they are from the first round. That's where most of the talent was, and I think this was where some of the best value picks were in this draft. But there were some good picks later on that maybe I'll share at another time in another episode. But anyways, the first of my best picks is the Washington Commanders getting Sonny Styles at pick number 7. I mean, the reason I'm picking this one is because Sonny Styles, we saw in the combine, him and his brother are very athletic duo over there at Ohio State. One of the most athletic defensive players in this draft. He may not be the best guy in the draft on the defensive side of the ball, but you're getting insane value for a guy that could have gone easily in the top 5, maybe as high as number 2 overall to the New York Jets, and you get him at number 7 when the Washington Commanders desperately need some help on the defense. I think this was great value for the Commanders, getting Sonny Styles at number 7. And then at number 15, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting Ruben Bain. Now, I'm putting aside the character issues that may be there for Ruben Bain. Getting an edge like him at 15 when he could have gone maybe at number 2 to the number 4 to the Tennessee Titans. I don't know why I said number 2. But Ruben Bain was also one of the best defensive players in this draft class that fell due to character issues. Still, the value in player potential you're getting with Ruben Bain for Tampa Bay, a team that needs defensive help once again. This is really good value for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So,
Hey, I called it. I had it in my mock draft. Ruben Bain falling down to the Buccaneers.
you did have that. I do remember that now. I do remember that. So, Miles, good job.
Thank you.
Golf clap. So, anyways, those are my two best value picks. Maybe one other one was Colton Hood going to, I believe it was the New York Giants. I might have to double check that, but Colton Hood going in the second round. I thought where he landed was very good value for the team that got him. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna check that real quick. Miles, what do you have for your best picks or?
Oh, it's going to take a little bit here. All right, let's actually talk about surprises here. I'm not going to say they're good. I'm not going to say they're bad. Maybe I will elaborate later on. But let's talk about it. 3 surprises here. My number one biggest surprise, the thing that made me so angry, was Jeremiah Love to the Arizona Cardinals at number 3.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have been more pissed at the Cardinals. I mean, what are they doing? I mean, they bring in Jeremiah Love. Yes, he was probably the most talented player in that entire draft class. And yes, he very well could be a generational talent. And I am so excited to see him in the NFL. But why? Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how furious I was because I had saw some ESPN people saying, hey, this could happen. And I'm like, absolutely not. No way. They just spent money to bring in Tyler Algier, who's been waiting to be the number 1 behind Bijan Robinson. He came in thinking, hey, I'm going to get it. They already had James Conner. They had Bam Knight. And I'm just like, okay, they have the running back. They don't have a quarterback. They really only have 1 or 2 receivers. They have a tight end. Okay, this offense is looking good. Maybe you address something on the defense. No. They take Jeremiah Love at 3. I can't even fathom the fact that they took him. I would be pissed if I was Jeremiah Love because now he's got to go in there. He doesn't have a quarterback. Well, actually, he does have a quarterback. I'll talk about that later. But he's just in a bad spot in Arizona. I would have loved to see him play for the Titans. If he would have fallen one more pick, him and Cam Ward could have been such a good duo together. I was so set on my little theory that every time they get a new uniform, it's like a new face of the franchise for quarterback and running back. I was so set on that. And when it didn't happen, I think that's more of the reason why I'm angry. Let's go down. Miami taking Caden Proctor at 12. What in the world? Yes, I get it. You got to protect Malik Willis. But there's no point to protect him if he can't throw the ball to anyone. There is no receiver in that room right now. There's no one. Dude, I mean, come on. You're telling me you can't maybe take a reach on Makai Lemon? Maybe even reach on Omar Cooper Jr.? I just take somebody who's gonna make a difference. Take Kenyon Sadiq. I mean, Ruben Baines on the board at that point. Take him and put him with Jeff Halfley. Don't take a boring offensive lineman who you reached on. You reached on Caden Proctor. And I can't even tell you how mad I was and how bad I felt for Malik Willis. Yes, he's getting an offensive lineman. He's not getting a game changer. This isn't going to change the fact that the Dolphins very well could be bottom 5 teams this year. All right, this is an awful trade or awful pick here. I don't see the vision. They didn't really address the wide receiver thing. They addressed it later, late rounds, but I can't see it. They have no one. They don't have a number 1 receiver. They really don't have a 2. Maybe they have a 3. So what's going on? Please tell me you're talking like Stephon Diggs or something, because I need to get figured out for my guy Malik Willis. All right. Moving on for my third and final surprise. Garrett Nussmeier falling to the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was shocked. This is a guy, mind you, who is projected to go first round last year at the end of last year's draft. They're like, okay, people are going to want to tank for this next year's quarterback class because it's going to be so good. Guess what? It wasn't. It really, really wasn't. And I was a little bit shocked here. And that he fell to 7th to the Chiefs, which I will elaborate later. And then I have a little bit of honorable mention for my surprise here. Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
It's an honorable mention because I had a gut feeling, and he just fit the Rams so well that I thought, maybe they will reach on him. But the fact that they reached on him as early as they did, I thought maybe they'd trade up. No, they took him that early. And I think that's a sign of how good they are. That's my personal opinion. People were upset they didn't take Makai Lemon or someone to bring in another receiver there. No, you don't need it. You really don't need it. Think about your future. If you got guys like Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams who are going to be there for a while now, Stafford's only got a year or 2 left in him. So now they're setting themselves up to be good for a long time. I think it's a great move, but it's definitely a little bit surprising on where they reached. Andrew, what do you got to say about any of that? Or no comment, and I should just move on?
Well, I do think that Ty Simpson pick was weird, and I don't like it. I mean, I get the logic like that the Rams are going for, but I mean, Sean McVay, you could see it in him. Like the head coach of the Rams, was visibly like not very like happy about it. I mean, there could be a number of factors why he wasn't happy when talking about Ty Simpson being the pick, but I mean, I think there's a pretty strong indication that Sean McVay, I don't know if he exactly wanted this. I mean, the Rams made very interesting picks in round 1 and 2. I mean, first they got Ty Simpson in round 1. I mean, okay, that's a little weird. Round 2, they'll surely bounce back. They go out and draft Max Clare, who's one of my weirdest picks, and that was at a point in round 2 where the tight ends were just flying off the board for whatever reason. I don't understand why. The tight ends that were picked before Max Clare were very, very like, I don't know why you're going off the board now, except Eli Stowers, who went to the Eagles, by the way, which Eli Stowers to the Eagles is going to be a problem very, very soon.
That's crazy.
That's going to be a problem very, very soon. But the Rams chose a tight end there and chose Ty Simpson in the first round when the Rams could have easily taken Kenyon Sadiq as a tight end there, who is a much better player than Max Clare. No disrespect to Max Clare, but you're taking Ty Simpson there, a guy that's not going to help you exactly win now. And then you have Kenyon Sadiq, who is an athletic freak at tight end with Colby Parkinson as your starter. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I know you have Terrence Ferguson also at tight end, who may be a successor to Colby Parkinson in the near future, but if he would have done that, he probably would have done that now. So if the Rams were truly going to address tight end position, one, draft Kenyon Sadiq and maybe choose another quarterback a little bit later, maybe not Ty Simpson, who is, all respect to Ty Simpson, I don't think is very proven, and I think you much rather take a guy that's not, a little bit more of a risk, and you're not getting such, low value, in my opinion, for this upcoming season. Because I have an opinion that the Rams should be trying to win now instead of setting up for the future when yes, they do have a lot of good pieces right now, but I mean, Devonte Adams is getting old. We don't know how much longer he's going to be going to have left. Colby Parkinson, I just mentioned, he should probably not be a starter in the NFL right now, at least for the Rams. As out of all teams, the Rams. So the Rams just made some very confusing picks there. So yeah, I don't know about it. I'm not truly in favor of the Ty Simpson pick in terms of win now, but for the future, it makes sense. I just don't like it for win now.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. I think they could have waited till next year when it's arguably a better draft class, but then you throw them in. I think they wanted to do the Rodgers Jordan Love thing. I think I think it was a decent move. I agree it's not a win now move. It's a little bit of a head scratcher, but hey, we're not the GMs. We didn't see. We're not the scouts. This guy could be an absolutely amazing successor after Matthew Stafford. Let's move on here to the winners and losers, at least what I had, and you could bounce off some ideas here too. For one of my winners here, I had whoever ends up being the Jets quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
all right, which is a shocker because usually if you're a Jets quarterback, you're a loser. But I think they honestly are starting to build a pretty decent offense. Brees Hall just got the contract extension. Garrett Wilson's still looking like a very good receiver. Now you draft Kenyon Sadiq and Omar Cooper Jr. in the first round. Those are two very, very good offensive threats that could be very good for whoever ends up playing quarterback. I still think the Jets are going to suck this year, which is contrary to what I thought last year, but I learned my lesson. And Geno Smith, I can't even fathom that he's on the Jets again, but he's going to have some weapons. And in my personal opinion, he's going to have a better offense than what the Raiders had last year. So, I mean, it could be exciting to watch them. And I think the Jets could have a future next year when they draft someone like Arch Manning or Dante Moore or someone like that. I think we could be looking at a Jets team that could finally break the curse. Then let's talk about Carson Beck. Carson Beck was my Jackson Dart from last year, right? The quarterback who I was most high on, who had the most talent in the draft. I was right about Jackson Dart. Will I be right about Carson Beck? There's a good chance I'm not, but I'm confident in what this guy brings, and he's a very NFL-ready quarterback. And the fact that the Cardinals drafted him, I actually liked it a lot because now you got a quarterback room that's going to have Carson Beck, Jacoby Brissett, and Gardner Minshew. I think that's a very good room. I think it's not a win a Super Bowl or anything, but I think it's pretty exciting. Do I think he's going to win the quarterback competition right away? Absolutely not. Do I think Jacoby Brissett will come in and be the starter, and then we may see him go down and get hurt? Gardner Minshew maybe. I think Carson Beck eventually will start a few games for the Arizona Cardinals, but he's in a pretty good spot. He's got Jeremiah Love, which I absolutely love those two together. I mean, those two were some of my big prospects coming into this draft. You got Jeremiah Love, you got Carson Beck, then you got your receivers and your tight end like Marvin Harrison Jr., what's his name, Michael Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Michael Wilson, Trey McBride. This offense looks very good. You got an okay offensive line. Defense isn't great, but that's okay. You're not going to win the Super Bowl this year. Let's just see improvement. Then he's going to have LaFleur as his coach, Mike LaFleur. I'm excited to see how this team works. I'm shockingly high on the Arizona Cardinals right now. And I think they're going to be a fun team to watch. I think they're going to be like the Giants last year, who we are very excited to watch, even though they're not going to be that good. They may put up an upset or two this year, and I think that's what the Cardinals can do. So Carson Beck and the Arizona Cardinals are my winner there. Then another winner. I said him in my surprise, Garrett Nussmeier. All right, yes, he fell to the 7th. Yes, he probably lost a couple $1 million. Yes, that's easy for me to say, you're fine, because I don't have a couple $1 million. But he's going to the Chiefs. He's going to the dynasty that is the Chiefs right now. They're the 2020 dynasties. I mean, they're the best team of this decade for football here. and you're gonna you could start a game for the Chiefs right now because I just don't see Mahomes getting back to week one. I don't think they have to rush him because they also have Justin Fields. We're going to see Justin Fields against Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback competition. That is so exciting for me. I kind of hope Justin Fields gets a start or two. I also want to see Garrett Nussmeier see what he can do. And I think you get an absolute steal for the Chiefs getting him here. And I think it's a great move drafting him that late. Now, sadly, we have to go to the losers. Let's talk about them. 3 losers. Number 1, Jeremiah Love. I talked about it already. He's literally been in my most surprise and my losers, and he's kind of a winner because he's got Carson Beck. But I just think Love is going to be in an overcrowded running back room, and he's going to be on a team that's just not that great. He's not going to have a steady quarterback, contrary to what I just said. He's going to have inconsistent quarterbacks. He's never going to have the same quarterback throughout the entire season. So we're going to see how Jeremiah Love does with that. I'm kind of expecting a Ashton Genty type season for him. Just the team's not ready to win yet, so he's just not going to have an insane year. That could happen. I hope it's not going to happen, but I think it could. My next guy would be Jermon McCoy, falling all the way down to the 4th round to the Raiders. He's going to a cornerback room where, I mean, I guess you could say the door is open, but it's also not. Like, they have some solid corners there, so we'll see how he does. He's the Will Johnson from last year where, injuries are the reason he falls. I had him going in the 1st round, I think. I had him going in the 1st round in my mock draft. And so when he was falling like this, it was like, ooh. All I could think of that Free Falling song whenever I heard the name Jermon McCoy. But yeah, that stings for him. Hopefully he can recover from the injury and be very good, even though I think Brandon Cisse, the next Packers' greatest cornerback, he's going to be amazing. Yeah. All right. And then another loser, obviously, Diego Pavia. I mean, that guy got slapped. I mean, he got hit by a train looking like a loser there. I mean, he's got loser tattooed on his forehead right now. Diego Pavia, please don't sue me for defamation there. But yeah, he's yikes. Just yikes. I mean, you go from being number 2 in Heisman voting to being undrafted and not having teams call you right away. They were boycotting Diego Pavia. And it's clear. It's clear. It's a classic Shedeur Sanders situation. That's what we're calling it now, because next year it'll be a classic Shedeur Sanders situation. Shedeur Sanders, trademark it, because it's for people with big personalities who fall very far. And Diego Pavia, yes, he wasn't going to be a top pick, but I didn't think he was going to fall undrafted. He has no interest for the next, few days until the Ravens say, hey, we're going to invite you and Joey Fagano to our minicamp. Ends up getting signed before minicamp starts. I believe him and Joey Fagano both got signed. For those who don't know, Joey Fagano is the UConn quarterback. Mm-hmm. I know, right? UConn's got a football team. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
But yeah, Diego Pavia, yikes. And it sounds like it's not going too great with the Ravens right now. It does sound like he's got a contract lined up. If it doesn't work in the NFL, he will be going to the Canadian Football League. He's gotten interest from that, but it sounds like a few teams are interested in seeing. I mean, he's just we all remember when he didn't win the Heisman and he went to that party or whatever, and then started trashing Mendoza and trashing all the people who voted and all of that. So I don't know. Pavia is a loser to me right now. I would like him to do good, but it's just he's not built like an NFL quarterback. He doesn't have the personality of an NFL quarterback. He has no leadership, but he did turn around Vanderbilt's football program. So I do kind of hope he does good. Andrew, I just said a whole bunch. What do you got?
Yeah, well, I would like to contradict you and say that Diego Pavia, I don't really care what you do with your football career. for all I know, you could, be working at Chick-fil-A in a couple years, and I wouldn't, turn my head at all. So I really couldn't care any less. I would like to say that, I'm a little worried about like a Colton Hood pick. I mean, fourth round, yeah, he did fall a little bit. The talent is there, but just the injury concern, like just
Jermon
the
McQuaid.
sorry, Jamal McCoy. Jeez, Louise. There's so many Tennessee corners. You gotta give me a break here, guys.
It makes sense.
Yeah, Jamal McCoy. Like, I don't know. Like, he's so questionable. Like, I honestly think that his situation is a little more. I would almost say like maybe a little bit more strange than Will Johnson, because Will Johnson, yes, he had an injury, but I think there was always a guarantee that Will Johnson would be able to come back and play football at a level where he's not going to be a liability. For Jamal McCoy, I don't know if he's even going to even play, because the amount of damage that he had to his knee is pretty extensive, and when you're a corner, like, it's such a athletic position. It's very hard to continue playing at that level with a knee like that. I mean, I look at Eric Stokes, who had a knee injury, and he was in his first year, he showed flashes of being a solid corner, and we were all excited to see what he could do in his next couple years. But then he had that knee injury, and he never was the same. Now he's on the Raiders, and he's doing all right with the Raiders. I think he's gonna have a solid NFL career of being a second, maybe a somewhat decent starter at times in his NFL career. But I don't know about Jamal McCoy there. So, but yeah, I think all those losers were very valid in that regard. I do want to say one more thing. I want to trash on the Vikings here real quick, because with how the Bears drafted, I can't really trash on the Bears because they got Dylan Thieneman, the guy the Vikings should have probably drafted instead of Caleb Banks, the defensive tackle out of Florida, who literally can't stay healthy. I mean, the Vikings had a prime position to get probably one of the best secondary members of a secondary in the NFL draft with Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon. And yeah, after you lose Harrison Smith to retirement, like, why not draft probably the best safety in the draft?
And it's a copy and paste. I mean, they're the same.
Yeah, exactly. Because Caleb Banks, he's hurt all the time, and I don't think he's even the best defensive tackle in the draft. I think that he's easily Peter Woods, the guy the Chiefs got. I think he's better. I think Peter.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why you pick him. And when you, one, have Dylan Thieneman, and then two, Peter Woods is still there. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. They
So
botched it.
yeah, so like the Vikings, I really want to diss on the Vikings for that, and then the Bears, I can't, because they got Dylan Thieneman, probably the best secondary member in this draft. Like, everyone had him
Yeah.
had him going to the Vikings, and now the Bears got him, and they have probably one of the best safety rooms in the league. So Bears, you guys got a really good draft. I hate to say it, but but I will say the Vikings, y'all pooped the bed on this one. It hit the fan, and you didn't miss it. You got involved in the crossfire with that.
Yeah, well, they made it up. I do believe they made it up when signing Juwan Jennings.
They did get Juwan Jennings, so that wide receiver room actually is not looking completely horrible. And you have Kyler Murray, and the Vikings, they went 9-8 last year. So
Yeah.
let's not forget that the Vikings somehow pieced together 9 wins with 9. JJ McCarthy, I don't know how they did that, and Carson Wentz, who doesn't have a shoulder,
Max
and
Brosmer.
well, Max Brosmer actually didn't do that bad. I will give Max Brosmer some
Didn't you
credit.
throw like 7 interceptions, like 1 touchdown?
It was, but like the rest of the time that he played, he didn't do like completely awful. Like, his first game was pretty awful, but then his next couple games to finish out the year weren't, absolutely like, oh my God, get him off the team, put the running back in at quarterback,
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Vikings have some hope there, except, they drafted Caleb Banks, and the Bears, I don't know how the Bears can keep getting away with it. I already know they're going to be so insufferable when they have Dylan Thieneman as their safety, picking off everybody in the division, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So, Miles, do you have anything to say here before we close out here?
No, I am good. I got all my rants out. Sorry we haven't been able to get more episodes up again. Once we get to the months of June, July, and August, it hopefully will become more consistent posting. It's just, this is a very busy time for Andrew and I. But thank you for staying loyal and listening to us.
Absolutely. So I couldn't have put it better myself. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Stay tuned for more episodes coming up soon. Hopefully. That's a very big hopefully. If you enjoyed, make sure you follow the show, share it with your friends and family, help grow the show. That would be really, a late Christmas present for me and Miles in May. In May. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all so much for listening. I'm Andrew,
And I'm Miles.
and we'll see you in the next episode, everyone.
Yeah.